What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. I have video now. It's temporary. I just slap stuff together. I had, there's a camera. Let me slap it and then put some duct tape on it, and that's kind of what happened. So anyway, the talk around has been about Steam Machine. Is it a PC? Is it a console? Blah, blah, blah. Xbox is dead because, Steam beat them to the market. Blah, blah, blah. RAM prices, everything. And Ponies and Donkey Unicorns being dummies as they usually are. It's just, that's what they do. Don't look at me. It's just how they are. So this was kind of cute. Somebody made a GameCube intro for the Steam Machine. So I don't have the sound on, but it's like beep a doop boop. I think it might have the actual. Let's see. Oh, it does the Okay, it does do it. And then it hits the Steam. Okay, that's pretty nice. That's kind of cool. Anyway, I saw that. I was like, let's check that out real quick. So people have been kind of do like custom Steam Machine joints. Yeah, that was cool. Minecraft. This one is I guess an Excel sheet that has all of the keep track of all your stuff. All the good stuff. But the point is that so Donkey Unicorns and Ponies are trying to create a console war, right? Since they feel that Xbox bowed out of the last or latest console war, which isn't true, but that's what everybody's saying. And the fact that is the running narrative isn't an issue, because if Microsoft comes out with a product that everybody wants and everybody buys it, then what? Is it back on now? Microsoft came back. That's why it's so kind of dumb. And that's why Microsoft literally over and over telling you, hey, we're building a console. Hey, we're building a console. Hey, we're building everybody down the line. Hey, I'm surprised Major Nelson didn't come out and say, hey, we're building a console. Oh, wait, that don't work there anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all are just hard-headed. Ponies and Donkey Unicorns, not the Xboxers, not us. We know what's up. So we're looking at this. We're looking at this thing here. Steam Machine, all Minecrafted up. That's kind of fly. That's kind of cool. So one of the things that people are crying about are prices. Console prices are going up. Oh my gosh, because of the RAM. Alex said, these are actual market conditions. I'm like, yeah, they are. But like the skeptic in me is like, okay, wait. RAM prices are going up because they don't have enough RAM. Well, why can't, it's easy for me to say, why can't they just make more RAM? Okay, it's not that simple, obviously. They have a pipeline. They have a bandwidth that they can produce. And it seems that ChatGPT is gobbling up all the RAM. So now there's going to be a shortage, and so now everyone will suffer. Convenient. Now, my question is, all of these different AI server farms or whatever, they have been operating, right? What have they been operating on? Didn't they have RAM before? Why wasn't this an issue before? I've never heard of a RAM shortage, right? Because of AI farms. So I'm like, all right, so why is this happening now? Steam Machine's about to come out in like 6 months or so. Probably not even that. Like probably like for 4 months or something, like in the spring, right? So, let's mess it up so that every electronic coming out is gonna. So you got the Steam Machine coming out. You got whatever Asus is coming out with. You got Xbox coming out with something new. You got a PlayStation 6 coming out. They're doing all this to increase the prices for these consoles and these devices that are coming out that people may want to buy. That's the cynic in me, right? And then I was looking at RAM prices, and I was like, okay. And I just put RAM. Then for some reason I went on Amazon, and they're like, oh yeah, DDR4. It's not that expensive. It's $80 something bucks for like 32 gigs or something. I was like, oh okay, but who wants DDR4? I said, wait a minute, no. DDR5, please. And then it's like, okay, $359. I was like, for 32 gigs. I'm like, oh my god, y'all are crazy. It's ridiculous. It's, you know, if it ain't one thing, it's not. It's another. It's not. If it's the RAM, it's not. If it's the SSD, that's, you know. Before it was the SSD when the consoles were launching. Oh, the SSD prices are so high. Blah blah blah. Right. And now it's RAM. See, I think they're just changing and next it'll be, I don't know, the actual. Well, they did the chip shortage thing before. I don't know, man. But anyway, the whole argument for Donkey Unicorns and Ponies, talking about the Steam machine is gonna kill the Xbox, blah blah blah. Idiots. Like I like the Black Hokage, right? But he's not an idiot, obviously. But he's kind of fallen into that trap where he's like, oh, Steam machine is a console, but it's not. It's a console. It's like, I'm like, people know. I was gonna say, anybody with a brain cell to rub together, it's not a console. And even Reforged was like, oh, it's a PC, but it acts like a console. I'm like, you can make a lot of things act like consoles. I mean, you know, you can make any PC act like a console. Does it make it just a console? No, it's a PC first, right? I mean, it's kind of like the argument. It wasn't a real argument between me and Paris. It was our words that we had with each other, and it wasn't even like bad or anything. It was just, we were just talking. And he said it's a PC. We were talking about the ROG Xbox ROG Ally. He's like, it's a PC, handheld PC that you put in your pocket, whatever. I was like, yeah, okay. It's that. It's also a console. It literally says console on the back. You flip it over, console. Now, I didn't put that there. Not me. Paris didn't. It was them. Them who made it. So I say, why can't it be both? And it is both. It is what, and the beauty of what's happening, it's like, you want it to be a console? It's a console. You want it to be a PC? It's a PC. You can't do that with your PlayStation 5. It's just a console. It's good enough. PlayStation has been on the good enough train for 2 generations right now. But good enough ain't going to be good enough for long, because once that new Xbox comes out and they show what a console with the options of PC, like storefronts and just the versatility of the different stores all combined into one place. Literally, like I said it before, it was like, this is the one console dream. This is the one console future that people were talking about years ago. I never thought that it would be Microsoft doing the one console. I was like, nah, they're not gonna, it's always gonna be Xbox. And now it's like, well, I guess they're doing it. Nobody else is doing it. I mean, Steam, they're just like, let's take the Steam Deck and then smash it into a cube shape and take out the controls and take out the screen and take out the battery and sell it and make it a little bit more powerful, but just sell that. And now, like, as far as the price goes for the Steam machine, people are hoping it's for $4.99. Yeah. Oh, when Alex did the part picker, I think it was Alex or somebody did the PC part picker, it was $4.25 and 72 cents or what, I don't know what it was, something like that, right? I was like, okay, sure. And then I'm like, okay, now that RAM is higher, so let's add $50 to $100 to that. I don't even know how much RAM is going to be in this. I think, 16 and 8. So yeah, let's add just to be safe, $100 to that. So $5.99. That's what I said. I said $5.99 for the little guy for $5.12. Is that a good price? It's all right, but once again, we go back to the question: who is this for? It's for PC gamers who primarily use Steam, who they want an unintrusive little scube a cube in their living room. It's not ugly and big and doofy like the PlayStation 5. It's smaller than an Xbox Series X by about half, I guess, is a slice. And yeah, a bunch of PC guys are going to buy this just to put it in another room. It's an extra PC so they can play their Steam games not on their computer or their big rig or whatever. They can sit on the couch and blah, blah, that's what that's the primarily that's who it's for. And so, it's like PlayStation guys, they're not gonna buy this. Nintendo guys, they're not gonna buy that. Xbox guys, we're waiting for the Xbox joint. So, we'll see. But in the meantime, it's gonna be tricky. People are like, oh, the whole thing with the RAM prices, and I was like, okay. People were saying, oh well, Microsoft is just like basically making build to order consoles, and I'm like, I mean that makes sense, so that you don't just keep making them and then they don't sell or whatever. Meanwhile, PlayStation is just making consoles, and they're counting those numbers as consoles sold in to stores, but not through to customers. And that's where the difference is. And so they keep telling you this number that is not the real number. And I keep saying it's consoles manufactured. It's consoles they made. It's not consoles they sold through to the customers. So it doesn't reflect the MAUs. And that's the most important part of this whole equation that Sony is trying to follow, trying to now incorporate or adopt as their main focus. Not console units sold, MAUs. And so when you're telling us units that you haven't sold, but units that you have manufactured, that doesn't give us any indication of the MAUs. And as far as we know, there's still 49 million PlayStation 4 owners playing that are making up those MAUs of the 119 or whatever it is that they have. So I don't know how the RAM prices are going to affect the future consoles. I don't know how long the shortage is going to be. Now, some people say that, well, since the prices went up, the prices probably won't go back down or whatever. And they said that for like GPUs, basically. And that is true. But the problem with that is if the RAM prices are, what they're trying to do is normalize the high prices of the RAM. It may work to an extent, but I don't think so, because it's like, what's going to happen is people are not going to buy those because you can't. It's literally like the cost of a smaller budget build PC. The RAM is literally the RAM. That's it. You get 64 gigs of RAM. It's like $700. I'm like, y'all are bugging. I was like, yeah, man, maybe I should buy a little, maybe I should build something real quick. My friend at work, he's like, yeah, man, I just ordered all my parts, but he's got a hookup, and his hookup got the RAM like half off, so it was like 120 for 32 gigs. I was like, oh man, I need that hookup too. I just buy RAM, just to hold on to it or something. I don't know, but yeah. So the pricing, it's gonna stifle the market a little bit. And when I forgot what it's called. I was listening to Legendary Drops. I did not agree with a lot of what he said in his latest video, but he always drops some knowledge. So I listen to him, whatever. But it's basically when the prices are so high on the devices, whatever, it stifles the market. I forgot what it was called, but that might happen. Or people will alternatively build lower spec PCs as far as like what RAM they use. Like I said, DDR4 is not as expensive as DDR5, so it's not as fast. Obviously, it's like twice as slow. But if you can get by, if you don't need like the super duper, if you ain't rendering, the stuff that Alex likes in Blender, I'm not gonna say the word. Then you can get by, but the faster the better. So I think there's gonna be a lot of like what's his name? I forgot his name. Wow. I mean, Bitwit and his friend Paul's Hardware. That's it. I think they'll be like, here's how you build a PC for. I mean, they've always done like $500 bills or cheap bills and stuff. They're gonna do that more so now because the price of RAM. So it's like, okay, at the price of RAM, we're gonna show you how to build a PC. Beep boop, and they'll do it, and it'll be cool. Maybe, I don't know. Hopefully, but this is the world we live in right now. Is it gonna subside anytime soon? Not nobody really knows. Nobody can say. Oh gosh, who did this? IGN Steam Machine Price Survey. 500. I don't want a Steam machine. Nope. Yeah, 800. Like I said, $599. Hopefully, $699 more than likely, because like I said, because of the RAM. So what's this? 50, 60, 32 gigs. How much is this? How much is it? What does it say? $849. That ain't bad. That's basically what my friend's building. Except he doesn't have 2 terabytes. That's 1 terabyte. Intel Core Ultra 5. Oh, that's a laptop. Whatchamacallit, right? Or is it does the F denote no graphics? I can't remember what those freaking letters mean. Anyway, there's Linus. Anyway, let's just leave it there. So I am cautiously optimistic, only because of the fluctuation in the market. As far as the pricing, look, when you look at the technology outside, to take the price and throw it out the window. All the prices hikes and all, just throw it out. Don't even think about money. You think about the technology, right? You think about the Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5. Not even the Pro. The Pro was kind of like a scam. It was a scam. You think about that stuff. You think about like the Steam machine, mid. It's a mid PC, whatever. Even the Steam Deck is cool. The Xbox ROG Ally X, that's kind of dope because that's the first gaming machine that has an MPU in it. So kind of cool. And now I think Dell's making a desktop that has an MPU in it as well. So I think that'll be more commonplace in PCs. So maybe that'll help mitigate the RAM. I have no idea. But if you just look at the technology itself, there's pros and cons. It's like, okay, I'm optimistic, but there's like kind of a trend that I've talked about before where the devs are relying on FSR4 and DLSS and all these things. Not Pisser, because Pisser sucks. Pisser's bad. But all the other things that they're relying on to not optimize properly, but to, say, boom, here, we did it, and then we press the button, and then DLSS fixes what we can't fix, or we're too late, or it's not enough time or money to fix it, so we're going to use DLSS to I mean, that's the whole premise behind the Steam machine. It's like, oh, yeah, 4K, 60 frames per second, using FSR4. It's like, what? Y'all gonna... Really? That's like those TVs, like, look how smooth, it's 320 frames, it hurts, and it's like, it got that motion smoothing on it. You're like, boo. We don't like that. So I like the technology. I like where the technology is going. And, like I said, I think what is happening with Steam Machine and with the next Xbox, not PlayStation, because they're whack and they want to be consoles, and so they're going to be left behind if they don't do what they need to do. If they're not doing what Steam and Xbox is doing, they're going to get left behind. Them and Nintendo, they're going to be consoles, and for lack of a better term, basically toys. Because, listen, Nintendo is a toy maker, first and foremost, or first cards, then toys. But that's what video games were thought of back in the day when we grew up. Gen X, the first generation of video gamers, us, they were like, yo, toy. And it was like, let's buy it for them so they can be quiet. Now it's the Switch has adopted that for children today. That's why it's selling so many, because that's what we got. Nintendos, we got Sega Master Systems. And then we got Genesis, and then we got Super NES. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple of competitors back in the day. Now it's just a Switch. For kids, just a Switch. And so now the PlayStation 6 or whatever, it is the next step for children. So when the children's aren't little kitty children's no more, they be like, oh, I want something more better. They get a PlayStation 5. Or they say see the Xbox that has Steam, because I've had a few younger, like, children of friends who were teenagers at the time, and they wanted to play games. They wanted to play Five Nights at Freddy. They wanted to play H1Z, Z1. That's what it's called, right? And you're not playing that on PlayStation. That's PC. That's Steam, right? And so the games that kids are playing today are not PlayStation games, obviously. They're PC games. And once again, I said this before, they're growing up with the ability to understand, navigate, and use PCs, because that's what they use in school. They're sitting there in tablets or whatever. They're fluent. So they don't need to be like, oh, you don't know how to. No, they know more than us, because that's what they do. They're on their phones. Boo, boo, boo. And so that we see Microsoft doing what? Phones. They bought ABK. They got freaking King, the biggest phone, cell phone app maker, whatever. They're putting all the pieces together for the next gen. They're leaving us behind. Let's be real. We're still gonna buy the biggest, when the next Xbox comes out. The main, demographic that's gonna buy that, Gen Xers. That's who's gonna buy it. Not Alpha, not whatever's past that. Nah, they're not, because they don't even have money for that. Okay, it's us who have the money, who have the disposable income. And we're just fans, and we're just going to keep it real, keep it moving. Xbox, thank you, I'm going to go get that. That's what it is. Some people will get that PlayStation 6 too. I mean, I wouldn't waste my money, but, whatever. You could just get the Xbox and play the PlayStation games on Xbox. And that's the beauty of it. Once again, the one console future is happening. And PlayStation don't want nothing. There was rumors. This is so stupid. There was rumors that PlayStation's gonna pull back their games from Steam. They're not gonna do that no more. Nah, man, because of the Steam Deck. Is the Steam Deck such a threat that it's such a dumb. I mean, and Jez Corden said it, and I'm not calling him dumb, obviously, but he just put it out there. It wasn't anything that he learned, or it was just kind of like he was just musing on. It was just this thought. It's like maybe they'll pull back, or just talking. And I was like, I mean, it's definitely a possibility, but it's not likely, because Sony wants money. All these companies want money. Okay, let's be real. And so we saw the fireside chat with Hermie and what's her name and the other dude and the other dude. Sorry, I don't remember anybody's name. Lisa who? I don't know. Whatever her name was. But the CFO at Sony. And they said it multiple times. We're going to put our stuff in other places. We're going to do. And then Term is trying to be like, if a when and if and if, we're going to put our games on other platforms. And yeah. You guys are. The reason why they did that, if y'all think that things are going to stay the same at PlayStation, they're not. And when people they're just ignoring what PlayStation and Sony are saying right to your face. They're ignoring it. They literally said they're putting their games on every place. They've started to do that with 2 games already on Xbox. First-party games, first-party studios, published by PlayStation on Xbox. So it's done and dusted. It's like, yo, that's it. They coming through. That's what they're gonna do. And so I'm like, yo, they're third. They've been third party for a minute, but their whole plan, their business strategy to try to sell consoles like that, it doesn't work. Because your games are not exclusive anymore. The exclusivity part is what kept people buying a PlayStation. But now that we know that your games are going to be on PC by way, and that in itself will make them be on the next Xbox. And so once people realize that, once more people realize that, then Sony's done. They have to do something. And that's why they're doing the launcher, because they want to have all the money. They don't want to have to just get 70. They want 100%. Now, are people going to buy PC, PlayStation games on a PlayStation launcher on PC? No, they're not, because Microsoft tried it, and they had to put their games on Steam because that's where people buy their games, because Steam, for what it's worth, they put in the work. And they at first it was trash. Nobody liked it. They tried to shoehorn and put exclusives on there. You got to get your games from Steam, blah, 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 like Half-Life 2 or whatever it was. And people didn't like it. And then they started doing some policies and stuff, and people got used to it, whatever, and boom. So everybody likes Steam now because they're pretty good, and they have a lot of games. Sony is, I think, one of the main problems with PlayStation, and this will be the last thing, they have waited too long to do what they're doing. They've been behind, following in the footsteps of Xbox and Nintendo and everybody else and their mama. And now it's like, well, I mean, they failed at the live service stuff. They were too late for that, and it doesn't seem like they can get that. I don't think Marathon's going to do anything. It might be good, but freaking what is it called? I can't even remember the Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is already freaking destroying, and I've seen clips of Arc Raiders, and they're hilarious. And you know what it is? It's not even like the game. It's the proximity chat. Those are the clips that they keep posting, and it's like, yo, can we be friends? No, I will shoot you. I'm giving you 20 seconds. And it's just like I'm watching this. I'm like, this is hilarious. And the fact that Bungie was not going to have proximity chat in their game that requires proximity chat as a staple of the actual game as a genre, not requires, but that's what makes the game the game. The fact that they were going to take it out because of toxicity, that should tell you that I don't think that was a Bungie thing. I think that's a Sony thing. And because Sony is very censorship heavy. They censored the butt crack in Devil May Cry, DMC Devil May Cry with a little shiny thing or whatever. They censor all the nudity. They censored Stella Blade, I believe. They censored some of her costumes and stuff. I don't understand how you Donkey Unicorns and Ponies love this company who's censoring stuff. Like, yo, can I see some stuff? I mean, it's like, I'm not trying to goon or nothing, but it's just like, yo, I like to see females. Can I see them, please? I was like, no, this is for the children. It's like, actually, nah, this game really isn't for the children. It's a little violent, and you can still see some side boobs and stuff. It's not. So since it's not for the kids, show me the stuff. Show me the money. But no. So yeah, we gonna try to keep it non-toxic for all our players, and then all your 2 players, because nobody's gonna play this stupid game. And since everybody got a bad taste of Marathon in their mouth already, and since they got caught stealing art, it's like, yeah, y'all should have just canceled that game, because nobody. I mean, some people will play it, but nah, look, if I could sit here objectively and say if that game was looking hot and that it would be tight, and I'd be like, yeah, it's gonna be good. But first, extraction shooter, not really. And the the PUBG people are making an extraction shooter too. I'm like, y'all just need to stop. Just because Arc Raiders is blowing up the spot, stop it. Stop it. So I don't know. They're trying to make that the next thing, the next battle royale, whatever. But I don't think it's gonna be. It's got to be something else. It's gotta be something. But anyway, I'm rambling. I appreciate y'all hanging out on this. Like and subscribe. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the whole prices of the RAMs and stuff, and all these knuckleheads on Twitter, on the internet, screaming about the Steam Deck and how it's gonna destroy the Xbox. Oh my gosh, and all these things. Oh, but you know, it's you know, just it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. But I preach. I talk to y'all the next one. Till the wait.